for Ryan Anderson, and if you're not, it was going to be for Ryan Anderson, and if you're not Ryan Anderson, then keep scrolling. But I know y'all watch, and that's okay, but this video is not for y'all, it's for him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Welcome back to Bella Talks TV. This is Amanda Bella here, and we have so much to get into this week. I've promised you guys an episode, and I have just gotten so behind in real life. Like, one of my resolutions lately has been to make sure I'm taking care, of course. Like, this is like the most simple adulting, but like taking care of all my like real life stuff before I'm spending time posting, scrolling, potting, etc. because I've had so much going on. And I want to make sure I'm like balancing life. So I'm doing my best over here, but I have got quite the list compiled of things that have been going on in reality TV. And we're here. If this is your first time here, again, I'm Amanda Bella. I host this wonderful show that I have put together for you guys, talking about reality TV's most talked about moments of the week. We're going to span across the universe today. I feel like things, I talked in my last episode, like I felt like things have just been a little bit slow lately. Like ever since Traitors, I have felt this like downward slump. And I've also felt like just the way that the rollouts of the shows have been going. I mean, right now is NBC up front. So that's why all the random Bravo Labs are here in New York. If you guys didn't see, I'm sure you did, posting online about, I think they usually select like one or two people from each show to come and like represent their show as like an ambassador. And then they come and they have all of the shareholders, I guess, and advertisers and stuff come and meet and learn about the shows and the people on Bravo and Peacock, etc. E Network, I think whatever falls under the umbrella. Now, for me, what I'm very curious about is I know that next season, Married at First Sight next season is going to be on Peacock. So I'm wondering if somehow they're going to get like brought into the Bravo sphere. I mean, I'm wondering even if like when it comes to Traitors, if we'd be able to get some Married at First Sight Traitors people. God, that would be so good. The Traitors 4, season 4 rumored cast is floating around. And Nene's on it. Mary Cosby is on it. Margaret Josephs. Dorinda's rumored to come back, which I totally believe. Dorinda has been so open and honest about her post-Traitors journey. And she's cried and has been like, so this really, really did a number on her psychologically. So we need to have Dorinda come back and like have a redemption arc. Like, it's important that we support our girl because I'm still in my season 10 right now, Real Housewives of New York rewatch. That is a mouthful. My RHONY rewatch. And I'm just to the first episode now where Bethany just left and the women are kind of, Leah just got there. Oh my gosh. So I've decided a couple other shows I'm going to do rewatches for, and I want to invite you guys to come on these rewatch journeys with me because I'm always available to talk and chat about these things. And then I'm wondering, I'll do some extra bonus episode stuff podcasting about these topics. So a couple of things that we have going on before I get into the actual show here. I just want to say, one, I'm not going to be talking about the Valley today. We're taking a little break from the Valley. I mean, this season is very dark and divorce is imminent in the Valley. And I mean, right now, my biggest hope in life is Luke and Kristin. Luke had one little one-liner last night when Jesse was just wasted. I've gotten a little bit of an ick, you guys, from Jesse Lally. I was championing him so hard coming into season 2. I thought he was like funny, quirky, and a little bougie. And I do love a bougie guy. Like, I'm not even kidding. Jesse influenced my honeymoon. Because last year, The Valley was airing during my wedding honeymoon. And we were going to the Amalfi Coast. And I was like, I have to go to Capri. Because Jesse Lally is his favorite place in the whole world. And we did. We went and we spent a whole day there, which was really nice. But honestly, I have to be like so real with you. Maybe because we didn't stay there and engulf ourselves in the Capri culture, I would just totally stay on mainland, like in Sorrento or Positano or wherever. I wouldn't stay on Capri because it is a very small island and it's got 2 parts and they're very far apart and it takes a long time to get in between them and very overpriced, very crowded, and I would just not recommend really staying there. I would recommend just taking like a day trip, a ferry. We had a sick yacht, like a private yacht that was from the hotel that we were staying at. It was literally the first day of the season for them to take the boat out. And just that day, we happened to be lucky that we were the only ones like going on the boat. And so basically, it was like a private charter for the day, which we got really lucky. Beautiful. So yeah, 10 out of 10 recommend in general. But Jesse, you don't know how much this guy affects me. And I've gotten the ick. One was the beige mantees. Okay. We cannot be having that going on. That really turned me off. Not cute. Then he's been getting like way too drunk. Like the last 2 episodes, especially this one that aired last night where he's drinking champagne at like 8 a.m. I don't know. Just he was wasted, slurring, saying weird shit, saying stuff to Zach, saying stuff to the whole cast, like just being a drunk. And he said something to Luke. He goes, "Luke, no culture." And then Luke goes, "Well, you no manly." And this is true. I mean, don't forget that Luke is like an apocalypse, like death, doomsday prepper. Oh, he can handle anything, lived in the woods with like no electricity when Kristin met him. Riposta. So yeah, I said I wasn't going to talk about the Valley, but I just had to just tell you guys that I've gotten the Jesse Lally ick between his drinking and his panties. Over it. I'm also not going to talk about Summer House today. Again, a little burnt out. I've been so burnt out on talking about Paige. Like I literally can't even. And then I went into the Lexi. You guys know where I stand with Lexi and Jesse. And honestly, there's just nothing else going on. Again, you know where I stand with Carl and Lindsay. So there's just no new developments. I'm pissed about the Emerald stuff, just as everyone else is, about him getting edited out. But you guys, this is not the first time someone has been edited out. Like they're famous for doing this. Summer House is famous for doing this, where they just kind of like start pretending people aren't there. This happens every season. Unfortunately, Emerald is going to be another one. One of my favorite parts of this whole season, which I quote to myself like almost once a day, which like, what does that say about me? Is the part when Emerald comes into the house and they're like, and Kyle's like, "Oh yeah, my friend Emerald is going to be joining us next weekend." And Jesse goes, "Emerald, I rule." And I have gotten the ick so much from Jesse, which is funny. Like Jesse Solomon, Jesse Lally, 2 Jessies I have the biggest ick from right now. But I don't know. I'm just going along with the Summer House thing. I'm chugging along here. Now, one person, I don't know how often they usually release the reunion photos to see what everyone's wearing and etc. But ever since Jesse Solomon said on Amazon Prime that there was going to be a big announcement at the reunion and no photos have been leaked, I mean, there's just so many rumors going on. Like, is Amanda pregnant? Are Kyle and Amanda getting divorced? Is Paige leaving? Is Lindsay going to RHONY? Like, these are all things that are being speculated on. Is there going to be a new structure of the show? Are they going to announce that Summer House is not going to be coming back to the summer next year and that it's going to be only filming in the city? Is there going to be an announcement that they're going to move to a new house? Is there going to be an announcement that they're going to do Jersey Shore family vacation style, where they're only going to film for 2 weeks next summer and go on a trip somewhere? A lot of possibilities. So let's just, I guess, see what's going to happen. Or they're going to go on a pause. Oh, fudge. I don't know. Let's just wait and see, you guys, before I jump to too many conclusions. So yeah, those are just 2 things I wanted to say at the top of the show. Let's get right into the rest of the show. Again, if it's your first time here, I'm going to do an OMG and an LOL moment of the week. And then we're going to count down the realities. Then we're going to count down reality TV's most talked about moments of the week. So let's hop right into my OMG of the week. So I'm still riding the OMG high of last week, which was Bravo announcing that there's going to be 4 new shows. Now, on last week's episode of Bella Talks TV, I discussed only the wife swap, and I didn't really get too much into the other shows that were announced. So let's just briefly go over them again, because there's been some developments. Now, the wife swap show, just so you guys know, it will be a housewife swapping with a regular civilian. So it will not be 2 housewives switching. Like Melissa Gorga is not going to go to Emily Simpson, and then Emily Simpson's not going to go to like Joe Gorga, like where they switch like that. It's going to be with civilians, with randos. Just an FYI. I'm not like really looking forward to that show as much, but maybe it will be like random. Watch it be like my LOL of the week every single week that it's airing. So I don't think it started filming yet, but just keep an eye out for that. Then we have the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I don't know much about Rhode Island except for the fact that Pauly D is from there. And if that gives any sense of the types of Italian Americans that are living there, I'm down and I'm excited. There was a little bit of a rumor that Ashley Iconetti from Bachelor Nation, Bachelor in Paradise, is going to be cast on the show. I'm here for it. Ashley is insane. Ashley's bananas truly. So I think she makes great TV, and I would love her dramatics and her flair for the theatrics to be on that show if that is true. And the rest of the ladies, I trust them. I trust them. Seems like everyone's excited. The fact that Andy's an executive producer himself, he's involved in the casting, involved in the whole show. So if you've really puts his stamp on it, I'm here for it. I don't think he's doing that with Wife Swap. I think that Wife Swap is like when they're like, okay, Alex Baskin, we're going to use your production company and like we just trust you to like make something, like just do something. And that's what happened when they made Luann and Sonia take Crappy Lake or whatever. That was also an example of Peacock being like, okay, just like Andy had nothing to do with that. That was just like a different project. And then when Andy saw it, he was even surprised, like, okay, this turned out pretty good. So that is another show that you guys can be keeping an eye out for. We have the Ladies of London reboot. I'm going to do a rewatch. I think there's only 4 seasons. So let me just do a quick Google here. Ladies of London. Because I want to see how many seasons. I think there's only season 3. It's 3 seasons. So yeah, easy rewatch on Peacock, especially with no commercials. I'm going to get into that. And then I'm going to do a bonus podcast episode. So if you've never seen that show and you don't have the time to do a rewatch, you can kind of get the feel for what was going on, even though it's a brand new cast. I could be wrong. Oh my gosh, wait, I just remembered. I heard a rumor. If you're watching me on the YouTube, you literally just saw my jaw drop because it was like a That's So Raven moment when she like sees into the future. Because I heard Dorinda is involved in Ladies of London. And if that is true, because she did live there for a decade, remember with Richard, that if that is true and the Ladies of London are actually going to be her age, that makes me so much more excited than them being these younger women. Same with my Housewives. I want them seasoned and older. So that's another show coming. Again, I will be doing the rewatch. So keep an eye out for some bonus episodes about that. And then also same with the Shahs of Sunset reboot, the Valley Persian Style, which is just a working title. I am curious. Okay, I know they're going to keep it under the Valley franchise, but I think it will just be called the Valley. I think they should call it Tarantulas. Like remember when Asa, who is married to the Jackson brother, Jermaine Jr., which is insane. They're not married. They're just co-parents, but they're like life partners. I actually kind of low-key miss Asa. Maybe she'll show up on the Valley, but it's going to be Adam and Reza. It's going to be MJ and Tommy. I love Tommy and MJ. They are so insane. Tommy is a nut from Queens. I love nuts from Queens. And he also has a big heart. I love him in Vita. I can't wait to see him in Vita's relationship. So I'm curious who else is going to be popped up on here. I mean, we know that if Mike Shoehead comes anywhere near this Valley reboot, I will be down at Bravo headquarters and I will be picketing with a sign. Like, we cannot support that man being on our TV. So don't even try it, Bravo. Don't even try it. Now we have Gigi coming back. Now Gigi is a mom and we haven't been able to see her because Shah's got canceled the year after she had her son. I think we got to see Elijah's first birthday and then that was it. So I'm going to be curious to watch her be a mom a little bit more and see what's going on there. We know that baby Shams, he's over with MJ and Tommy. So I think we're going to be checking in with all of them. Now we're going to have to see some new people. Going to have to see some newbies, even though there was a very strong cast through the Shahs, and it was almost the exact same cast through all the years. They had like a couple one-off newbies come in and out, but it was pretty much the same people. So I'm really excited to see them come back, and I will also be doing a reboot. Now there's 10 seasons, I think, of Shahs, 9 or 10. So Netflix, again, no commercials. I don't know how many days it's going to take me to burn through those, but I'm going to be definitely doing an episode with that because I can't wait to go back and rewatch. Like, I have done some rewatching because of that Amazon Prime channel. They have that Bravo Vault and they have a Shahs channel. So I did pop in and out throughout the last year, just kind of like catch what was going on. And I rewatched like MJ's wedding and I rewatched them all going to Hawaii, which was a huge trip when Paulina was there. Now Paulina got into a freaking physical fight with Gigi. I guess Gigi like attacked her at the mall. We cannot pretend that Gigi is not one of the most problematic reality TV stars of all time. She's like if Lala, Stassi, and the baddies, like one of the baddies from the Bad Girls Club all had a baby. So we know that Gigi is not afraid to get physical, which is not good. And we cannot have Bravo out here acting crazy because all eyes have been on Andy and we don't want to have any more. Like watching Leah now in this rewatch of the RHONY season 11 or whatever she comes in, I'm annoyed because she had so much potential. She was good. Like, I don't know if it was just truly mental unwellness. Like, who would bomb such an opportunity to work with Bravo? Like, she would have had, she's only in her 30s. Like, she would have had a lifelong career. Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. Okay, so yeah, those were the new shows coming out. And again, that was my OMG moment of the week because it's just, we're still hearing stuff. Things are still coming out. We're still getting rumors and just reactions to all the new shows. So that was great. Now let's move right over into my LOL moment of the week because I've been dying to talk to you guys about this. Like, I mean, if I haven't convinced you to be following Gypsy Rose by now, like, how could you even really, like, do you just fast forward when I talk about her? Like, do you just not care? I know not everybody has the time for the lore, but I will say there's only like, okay, depends on how far you want to go back in the lore. Because if you don't have to watch the scripted show on Hulu about her, you don't have to do that. You don't have to watch I would say if you're like have limited time and you're wanting just to get on the Gypsy train, just go to Lifetime, go to Peacock and rewatch season 1 of her most recent episode because you guys already know, like, you don't need to know all of the ins and outs of the schmurder because it's really, if you're really into true crime, you probably already know about Gypsy Rose and the case and everything that goes on with it. But if you're not into it and you don't really want to know about all of the creepiness and the weirdness of the relationships and stuff in her history, then just jump in season 1, episode 1 of her show last season and catch up because what you really need to know about is Ryan. And Ryan is the most important person on that show. And I'm curious how we're going to be able to carry on into season 3, if she's even going to get a season 3. Like, I know I don't know. We have to just talk about Gypsy Rose because she is my LOL moment of the week because over the weekend, Gypsy had a crash out. Gypsy had a TikTok crash out where she full on went, if you're not Ryan Anderson, keep scrolling. This message is for Ryan Anderson and Ryan Anderson only. And then she goes, but I know y'all are going to watch anyway because y'all are crazy. She can't help herself. Like, that is who she is in her core. That's why I'm like, we just have to let her be herself. Like, just put a camera in front of her, even if it's an iPhone 18 or whatever. That's all we need sometimes. We have to just make sure that she's going to stay in the public eye because we don't know what she's capable of yet. She's not even off of her parole yet. Now it's coming up in June. I believe she's about 6 weeks out from being a free woman. She's going to be able to move in and live with Ken. And a lot of things are going on to sabotage that relationship right now because what we're seeing on the show currently coincides to the crash outs that are happening in real life because they're reacting to what's going on in the show. So 1 episode ago, before Gypsy had the baby, Gypsy was debating whether or not to even tell Ryan that they had done a paternity test in utero. Why does it sound so weird when I say that? In utero. Paternity test with Ken to ensure that Ken was the father before the baby was born because they thought that would be able to affect whether or not Ken's name could be on the birth certificate, but it still didn't matter. It was good peace of mind for them, but the law still states that at the time of conception and at the time of birth of this baby, Ryan's name is going to be on the birth certificate and they're going to later have to appeal and change it. It just is what it is. Gypsy's like, I've accepted it. It's not fucking great, but this is the consequence of my actions that's going to now affect my daughter. But hey, we're going to get this sorted out legally after the baby is born. Now, she decides to just go on the internet and just post the DNA results when Ken's working his bar shift one night at the local Applebee's or wherever he works. And which is for his safety, I know they don't tell us, but I've searched Reddit. I cannot find the name of the establishment that he's working at. And I'm dying to know if it's a straight up like Bennigan's or Shenanigans or something like that. Like, I need to know where Ken is working. So if you know, please drop it in the comments. But Ken's at work. Gypsy drops the news that Ken is the father on Instagram and with a big long caption. Ryan finds out on the internet. And then on this recent episode, she's explaining like, Ryan's just part of the public. Like, he means nothing to me. He to me is a stranger. All that matters is me and Ken and Aurora. That's it. I'm not worrying about Ryan right now and getting this news to him. He can find out with the rest of the general public. To which then Ryan goes on TikTok live and he starts throwing all of Gypsy's old paintings that she left there, stuffed animals, pillows, etc., with the fleur-de-lis, because they love that New Orleans fleur-de-lis on all of their decor in the home. So Ryan starts hitting the vape. He ties up Pixie, puts her in the cage, and he's like, I got work to do. So throwing everything out on the lawn, telling TikTok live, Gypsy thinks I'm part of the general public. Fuck her, that all of her stuff can be out on the general lawn. Then Gypsy comes back and she decides to rebuttal. And she says, okay, well, if you're going to throw all my shit on the lawn and you're going to pretend like you hate me, I'm about to expose you for why you got piles of sweat rags all over your apartment. Because we know that Ryan loves a sweat towel. He tends to have the little towel just over his shoulder, kind of like a burp rag. And we just all assumed he's overweight. He's maybe pre-diabetic. Maybe he's just got something going on. He's just a sweaty boy living down in Cutoff. Some of the days are very hot. So everyone just assumed it's just Ryan, whatever. Well, then Gypsy then posts on TikTok screenshots of methadone reactions to the body, and methadone making you have excessive sweating, and basically outs Ryan for being in recovery as a meth addict. Allegedly. I mean, I literally can't. Gypsy is a queen, and Bethany, she went to the Bethany Frankel school. So yeah, I'm just shocked and awed by all of this. Gypsy then outing Ryan for the alleged methadone addiction. Then, unfortunately, we get more rebuttals. Everybody's pissed at Gypsy. It did not do what she thought it was going to do. It didn't do it. It wasn't doing what she thought it was going to do, girl. Jib. It just made you look crazy. Everybody's proud of Ryan for his recovery. Everyone's like, you are truly a new mother. Like, can you please go focus on your family and leave Ryan alone? You've been leading him on. You've been texting him. Again, they exposed her too. Like, Ryan exposed her on the show because they go to film with Ryan. Okay. They be showing up at Ryan's house like at least once a week, filming with him, getting his reactions to things going on in Gypsy's life and trying to poke and pry whether or not they're in contact. And they've tried a few times to get them together to meet on camera to have this like reconciliation closure conversation. They have been unsuccessful. Production has not been able to get them together on camera this season. And now it's just all coming to a head. Gypsy is like so mad at Ryan for exposing the text because she's texting Ryan when the baby's 1 week old, texting him like thirst traps, but like they're not normal thirst traps. I mean, she literally just gave birth a week ago. So they're like sleepy girl, like breastfeeding. And I guess Ryan and her talked a lot about starting a family, and it meant a lot to him. And so she knows that this is like messing with his head, especially the fact that Ryan thinks this baby is his still, because the baby did come very early. It like was not due until January 22nd, and it came December 28th, which was not helping the rumors that Ryan could potentially be the baby. Like, he said he was looking at these pictures that Gypsy was sending him, and he was low-key like, yo, it could be mine. Like, it could be my baby. It like kind of looks like me. Big head of dark hair. Oh my gosh. So still to this day, it's been ruled that Ken is the father, but there's always going to be a piece of me, I think, that just thinks like, you know, when the DNA tests come back and it's like 99.9999999, does that mean that there is like 0.00001% chance that Ryan is the father? And the test is just wrong? I just don't know. Okay, so Gypsy really crashed out. She was crying on TikTok Live, apologizing to Ryan, telling him that she's sorry for just everything. She wants to be able to be friends. She wants to be able to live in a space where there's no online war anymore. I mean, she's been making some choices. First, she did that lip sync to Cardi B where it's like, toot that ass, toot that ass. Oh my God. Ball player swoop that ass. Oh my God. So Cardi B like reposted that. No, sometimes the micro deletion. When I watch Gypsy Rose, like all I watch is watch her lick her lips, and she's just like a little like lizard. It really freaks me out. Okay, so that was like my total LOL moment of the week, just in general, Gypsy having a baby, then crashing out over TikTok about Ryan. It was just giving me so many giggles. And then the part where she was like, this video is for Ryan Anderson, and if you're not Ryan Anderson, keep scrolling. Just kidding, I know you're going to keep watching because y'all are crazy. That's so good. She's so good. So, okay, let's take a small break here, you guys, and we will come back and count down reality TV's most talked about moments. Okay, and we're back.
Can't bring me down. I'm on a high right I'm living my best life, and y'all can't take that from me.
Oh my God, I had to throw it back to Jip Jip. Back to when she was on a high right now, and you can't take that from me. To now her, I have to get the sound clip of her going, if you're not Ryan Anderson, keep scrolling. This video is for Ryan Anderson and Ryan Anderson only. It's been making me laugh all week. So, okay, let's jump right into my top 5 most talked about moments of the week, you guys. There's quite a few random things that happened this week that I actually forgot about. And then in compiling my list, I was like, oh my God, we are sick for giving a single fuck about any of this. Let's just be honest. Starting with number 5, my most talked about moment of the week is the official People Mag announcement that Will and Emmy from Southern Hospitality are indeed engaged. Now, homegirl wore the shoulder pads to the beach, and she fully admitted that she actually knew, planned the outfit, and was completely ready for the engagement because her and Will were in Saint Tropez, and she just knew it was coming. So my guess is that between what happened at the airing and the filming of the reunion, that Will, again, flew all the way to New York to and wouldn't come out on the stage from and just sat in the back of the clubhouse while everybody else went out there and fought for their fucking lives on the reunion stage. Will was in the back. And again, he just is such a simp and such a POS to me. I hate this kid so much. But this is what Emmy really wanted. So my guess is that, like, okay, we saw the part where she sat down with her sister last season, and she's like, I think by next year we're going to be engaged. And like in my head, I was crazy. Like in my head, I was like, there's no fucking way he's going to string her along for 10 more years. They're never getting engaged. They're going to have like 5 more breakups and makeups. I was wrong. But that's because I think Emmy knew something that I didn't know. I think that there was a ring on a string, a promise, if you will, a promise ring, maybe an emotional promise ring that was given to her that was kind of like dangled as a carrot in front of her for everything that she's gone through the last 2 seasons with him. And I'm sure that there were some off-camera conversations because she felt so confident that it was coming, that to make us all look crazy. So I think that there was just probably some kind of an agreement that was made between them, because not only did she know about the engagement, knew when it was coming, planned the outfit, was fully mentally prepared, but she also planned the ring and got the same ring that her mom has, but like Will's mom also has a similar ring. So the 3 of them now all kind of have like matching emerald cuts. So that's great. I love that for her. I actually think what's going to happen with Will, I don't find Will attractive like in the slightest. And I think that he's somebody who, unfortunately, with age, is going to become uglier because it's something to do with his mouth. He has like trout mouth. And then he also has like a little bit of a gingery. Okay. And again, no offense out there to my gingies. I love you all. But he just has a pasty gingerness to his skin. And his hair is like a strawberry blonde that I think if he does bald, it becomes like that wispy Prince William type hair. I don't see it like looking good. And Emmy, it's so funny. Like, okay, now I can see why Will has even said that before. And Emmy herself, I think, is just going to get hotter with age. She's going to pop some kids out. They're going to have some babies. He's going to go to law school. He'll probably still be nefarious. I think that if you're just like that, you're just like that. Especially if Emmy is, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like if you really want to be a stay-at-home mom and that's the life that you have, you are generally pretty happy. So I think in the end, Emmy is going to actually have the life that she wants and like dreams of. So again, we're women supporting women here. And as long as Emmy is happy, I'm happy for them. But I'm curious what this will bring for the next season. We know that this season is filming, but we know that there's no cameras in Saint Tropez with them. So if the new season is filming, what does that say then about if they're going to be on the new season or not? Will they be on the new season or not is the question. Maybe she moves to go like live where he's going to law school or something. I could see something happening, but we cannot have that storyline again. We need new dramas. So I'm excited to see what happens. Speaking of filming going on in Charleston, Corey Kiefer has been spotted filming with the Southern Charm cast. I'm not mad about it. And I'm going to just say, I understand that he's transphobic and a piece of shit, but there's something about his chaotic fucking energy that is very Jax-like, that is perfect for reality TV. I want him on the show. I'm sorry. But I don't condone what he said. I think that that's disgusting. And I hope that he just keeps that shit off the show. And as long as he's not spreading that disgusting propaganda on Southern Charm, then okay, keep it off the show. Not that I like still condone it. like I said. So, okay, yeah, that was my number 5 most talked about moment of the week. Congratulations, Emmy and Will, I guess, and Godspeed. Hopping into my number 4 most talked about moment of the week is going to be that Scheana Shay turned 40 over the weekend. And I always forget, okay, Sheena's real birthday, I think, is the 9th. Let's see here. Scheana Shay birthday. I can't believe she's 40. It did make me feel better. May 7th, 1985. Okay, so May 7th. She is technically a Taurus, which Taurus sun, I have a Taurus moon. I don't feel like I have anything in common with Scheana, except for I guess I can be slightly obsessive compulsive about things. So maybe that could be it. But I'm curious what her big 3 is, what Sheena's rising and moon signs are. I wonder if Allie's ever done her reading or if that exists on the internet somewhere. I'm going to have to look it up. Maybe it's on Sheena's vlog somewhere. On the Shenanigans vlog. I'm going to have to see. Scheana had her 40th birthday over the weekend, and she had a death to my 30s theme. And I really liked that theme. She wore a cute red outfit and everyone else wore black, like to a funeral. I was kind of into that. And I almost did that for my bachelorette. Like I ended up doing, because it was a Halloween bachelorette, and I ended up doing like bachelorette, which was cute, like ghosts and stuff, and doing more of like a 90s theme instead of doing death and like murder on my bachelorette. But I almost did death to my single life and had that theme, considered it heavily because I'm very emo. And so is Scheana. We have that like emo-ness in common. Okay, there we go. I found something very in common with Scheana. We both love Dashboard Confessional. So that is our emo Taurusness, maybe bringing us together. But she had her 40th again over the weekend. And a couple of things happened. So one, let's just go over like, first of all, she did the death to my 30s thing, and that was so cute. But then she went on her podcast on Shenanigans and like bawled her eyes out about turning 40 and telling everybody that she's having to up her Zoloft because she's extremely depressed right now. And I have to say a few things about this, and let it just like heed as a warning to you all. Not that I'm like some like oracle of wisdom or whatever, but this is truly like a cautionary tale about what it's like when you live your life for other people and you don't live your life for yourself and have your own identity and have your own confidence and have like self-love. Because when you do live and function of a place of anxiety, obsession, stardom, fame, hunger, social media relevancy, likes, vlog views, reality TV. I think I already said that, but you know what I'm saying. Like the world that Scheana has built for herself and lives and functions in is not sustainable and is not a healthy place to live your life in. And I think that Scheana made a couple of really big life decisions based on the show and the character of Scheana Shay that maybe didn't translate like to her real life. And one major one was marrying Brock. I think that she felt extremely pressured to get married and have a child because she knew and had heard rumors that Vanderpump Rules was getting canceled and getting spun off into the Valley. Like these were rumors that were going on in 2020. Before her and Brock were married, before Summer Moon was born. I think Summer Moon, they got pregnant like in 2020 or, you know, the baby was born then. But like these are things that were all really relevant and going on. Stassi got married and had her baby. Brittany and Jax got married and had their baby. Lala and Randall were engaged at the time still, and were having their baby. There was just a lot of this going on. So I see how Scheana was like, okay, like for my career and for my social life, like it's extremely important for me to get married and have a child right now. So her and Brock start trying during the pandemic, I believe. And at the time she had frozen her eggs, which I remember was a big deal. Her and Ariana froze her eggs together. And that was a big deal because Ariana was still with Tom. So crazy to look back, right? Through the pandemic. And Scheana and Brock have a miscarriage. And I will never forget listening to her episode of her podcast when that happened and her being like, okay, me and Brock, blah, blah. Okay, so then they have this miracle baby, this rainbow baby. They get pregnant again, and then they get engaged, or then the baby is born. And then they get engaged on Vanderpump Rules. Remember, Brock proposed to her after they went to the lawyer's office to sign the prenup. And then they got back to the apartment, and on the balcony, there were balloons set up. And then Sheena's mom was holding Summer Moon in the bedroom, peeking through the blinds the entire time. That was one of the most cursed. I know I have that posted on my Instagram somewhere. That was one of the most cursed proposals that ever lived in reality TV. while this is all going on, Brock is being sued and unable to see his children that are in Australia because his ex-wife is suing him for child support. And in Australia, they have very strict rules where like you can't even, I think, come back into the country, or he can't see his children, or there are very strict rules where he pretty much like cannot until he was caught up with his child support, which allegedly he is now. I think Scheana paid it off for him so that he could still see them, but he still has not seen his kids since Summer was born. And they've been to Australia and New Zealand, wherever they are. So between her choice to marry and be with Brock, who can't get a job to save his life, who's a serial failure entrepreneur from gyms to apps to being an actor to being a rugby player. I mean, no shade, but the man is in his 40s now. And okay, great that you are really good at doing yard work, but he keeps pretending like Brock the Builder is going to become some huge national phenomenon. And literally nobody gives a fuck about Brock the Builder. So I don't know. We're going to need Brock to get a job, you guys, because Sheena's super depressed. She doesn't have a job anymore. And I think she's worried about Summer Moon because Brock won't get a job. How are they going to afford private school? How are they going to afford their homes? Sheena's entire family is on her payroll. Her mom is the nanny. Her sister is like her social media manager and does the podcast, I think, or like helps with it. There's like things going on with the family business there. So Sheena's depressed, crying on shenanigans last week. Now her party though looked really fun. The party itself looked like a blast. Now Lala was there. Brittany and Janet was there. Allie was there. Speaking of Allie, Luke Goldbranson was there, which I thought was super random. I wasn't aware that Luke and Scheana were like that close like that, but of course they are because Scheana does know everyone, and Luke I think will fly out to go to like a Bravo related party, an event. Like I think he just also is desperate to stay, not desperate to stay relevant, because he does have like his own thing going on, and him being from Minnesota does mean a lot to me being a Michigan girl. There's something about down to earthness about him. So I don't think that he's like fame hungry, but I do think that these are maybe like, it's a real circle to him. And he's like, all right, I got to like make an effort to stay friends with all these people and like stay involved. I would love to see Luke on Traders. Bring him back. Okay. So yeah. And Demi from Mormon Wives was also at Sheena's party. And I couldn't help but wonder, I didn't see pics, I don't think, but was Marciano at Sheena's party? Was Jesse at Sheena's party? I fucking bet they were. Let's look it up real quick because I am curious to see. I don't know if Scheana didn't post the pictures. I just saw the most disgusting picture of her and Brock. I'll show it to you guys if you're on the YouTube of them like eating, what is that? A piece of cake together. Hey, there's some cute pictures here. What the fuck is Lala wearing? Like a tulle? I don't understand. She has the worst style. Okay, flipping through these pictures, I have not seen Marciano yet or Jesse Mormon Wives. Just Demi. I swear. Is she not friends with Marciano anymore? I would love. See, these are things that need to be filmed, you guys, because all right, from what I can see, he was not at her party. So they must have had a falling out over all of this drama with the Mormon Wives. I know that she had been replying to some of his videos, being like, what the fuck, Marciano? Why are you getting messy online? You guys, I think one more day until Mormon Wives comes out. One more day. I'm going to binge it all in one day. Okay, so let's move on to my number 3 most talked about moment of the week. It is the announcement of Kristin Cavallari's E-limited show. Wait, is it an E show? Yeah, I think it is, which is like, what are we doing with E? I know that was part of what NBC Upfronts is about because E is under the NBC umbrella, but it's like, what are we doing here? Okay, it's called Honestly Cavallari. Remember her old show was called Very Cavallari, and this is Honestly Cavallari. So it's called the Headline Tour. Yeah, it is on E. I just wanted to confirm. It's on E, and it's the Headline Tour. And the point of this show is to highlight the tour that she goes on for her podcast, which is only 4 cities, like kind of a weak sauce tour, but still respect. I mean, who am I to fucking talk? Like literally, who am I to talk? I would probably never get an opportunity to do something like that. And if I did, I would probably freak out and just, I don't know if I would even be good at it. So we'll see. I mean, I should be manifesting doing stuff like that, like shoot for the moon. But I'm actually in a phase right now with the podcast that I'm just trying to do like the bare minimum, because I've decided ultimately I do want to keep this just a hobby, and I do not want to let this consume my life and become like my driving job or income or pressure every day. Like I love to just hop on and off, and like the people that get it, if you know, you know, you don't. I'm kind of like in a space like that. Again, as I ramp up to BravoCon, I think I will like be branching out and doing some like special events and stuff. But really, for the most part, like I just want to keep it chill. I do. I do not want to make this like some huge curated, like I want to just have this, keep the format that it is. I love popping on, talking about whatever the hell I want. I love being able to just keep this a streamlined, easy show for you guys. Like maybe I will add ads one day. My views are getting somewhat, you know, higher each week, but which I appreciate. Again, share, rate, review now if you haven't yet. And just this is really just like for me. I started it for me and I'm going to keep it for me. So when I start to think about doing it for others and all of that outside pressure, it just does take away from the point of like why I started it. So I go back and forth, but just stick with me here. So with Kristin Cavallari though, she is a woman of many different, she's originally a reality TV icon. So the fact that she even has a podcast, now I've listened to a few episodes, but I love Justin, her best gay friend, her BGF or GBF or whatever. He is hilarious. Him and Scoot. They've been together for a while now. I love their relationship, and like Justin is just insane and funny, and they have such a genuine relationship. I also love the fact that because Kristin had lost her brother, it's kind of like he's a brother from, you know, a different, he's kind of like the brother that she never had, and they are able to do so much together. So I know he's going to be a big part of the show, it seems, and causes a lot of drama, maybe spills some tea also on camera and on stage that he's not supposed to. So I'm kind of regretting not going to one of these live shows now, knowing that it was only 4 stops and that they were all taped and stuff. It would have been really fun to be a part of it, especially because I was always team Kristin, Laguna Beach forever. I'll never forget being in my dorm room my freshman year, and the girl that lived across the hall from me was from Detroit, and we were super close. Actually, I haven't talked to her in a while. I should like reach out and see how she's doing. She was like, hey, on Thursdays, like we watched Laguna Beach like in my dorm room. Like she had like a little TV with like somehow had cable. I don't know who had, I don't remember like how, this was 2000, so like how we had cable or internet in our rooms. I cannot remember. Maybe we had to watch it on like her laptop or something, but either way, we were able to fucking watch it. And it was the best nights of my freshman year of college for watching Laguna Beach with my girls, and we were just the same age as them, and I loved those times. Those were the best times. So I love Kristin Cavallari. Now, some of the drama that comes out in this trailer that gets released for the show is when Craig and Austin come to her show, they edit the trailer together to make it look like Craig and Austin, like they did some shit on stage that pissed her off, and then they kind of edit it. Frankenstein edit, you know, it together to make it look like then they ripped their mic packs off when they left and stuff. And this has already been, I guess, debunked that Kristin's not talking when she's having that clip. It's actually like about some of the other guests, and it's kind of like a red herring to like throw you off or whatever, if that's the right term. It's basically like a false thing from the editing. So put your swords down for Craig and Austin. I've really turned the corner with Austin. I used to be kind of like, I used to think he was a douchebag, but slightly like indifferent to him. And then I've never like loved him. But this last season of Southern Charm, like I think that he just had a good season. And I think that he has just learned to like mature and get involved in like the right kind of drama, like with the guys and his friends, and stay away from like, we didn't really see his girlfriend, and that's fine. Maybe they're going to break up this season. Actually, I think they're going strong, but I don't think that he's going to be like cheating or doing anything crazy anytime soon. No more threesomes for him post Madison. But I'm curious what the new season of Southern Charm will look like. If there's going to be newbies. I mean, like we said, we have Corey coming back in. So we'll have to see. But yeah, Kristin Cavallari, her doing this tour. I'm excited to watch these. It's probably like an 8-episode series, I'm assuming. And I'm pumped to watch it. I think she's funny. I like all of her little side characters. And I want to see what the drama is that gets spilled, because I think the Bella twins also come out. She has other like special guests on the show, and I can't remember who else Kim Zolciak. How random. She goes to Atlanta and has Kim Zolciak, my queen mother icon, come onto the stage. So there's going to be some things that happen. There's going to be some drama, I think, that goes down. So we will see what goes on with Kristin Cavallari. And let's move right on into my number 2 most talked about moment of the week, which is the big announcement that BravoCon is now returning to Las Vegas. We have the dates, November 14th through 16th. The tickets are going on sale Friday, June 6th at noon Eastern time. I will be in the queue, and I believe, I'm 99.9% sure I'm going to pull the trigger and just do VIP, because this could potentially be like, I don't want to say it's going to be the last one, but if they're going to start doing them every other year, who knows in 2 years what the world will look like, if I will be able to go to the next one. So I'm just going to go all in on this one and just do it big. I'm going to just do it big. I'm going to mix and mingle. I've gotten a little more. I've gone, to the last few, the one in New York, the one in Vegas last time. I've gone to Bravo Fan Fest in Miami, and I go to all these watch parties and stuff. And I've gotten a little more comfortable with just like being around the Bravo Labs, being around the fans, knowing what to expect at a lot of these events. And I think I'm going to be able to have a really good time in Vegas this time and have it be like somewhat professional, but also just have it be personal and just be a fan. And not, again, I don't want to make like everything I do all about like Bella Talks TV. Like, I'm still Amanda too. Like, I'm still a person who just is a fan of these shows. And I don't want to make it like my entire personality having to comment and have all these like hot takes and opinions. Sometimes I just want to go watch a panel. Sometimes I want to just go like sit and laugh and not have to like have my camera out and take content and stuff. So I don't know. We're going to see as things develop. I'm assuming, I don't think like VIP is going to sell out right away, but I think I'm going to do, the VIP wristband. So if you're going to be going to BravoCon, please let me know, because I want to be trying to plan something or also collaborating with someone else who's planning something and really put together like some fun event out there. There's a lot of meet and greets. There's a lot of happy hours. There's a lot of post convention drink things. So people are always like getting together up and down the strip afterwards. And I just want to be mixing and mingling. Now, last time in Vegas, all of the ladies from the Housewives stayed at the Four Seasons, which is right next to the Aria, if you guys know where that is on the strip. And I'm curious where they're going to stay this year. I'm staying at the Venetian, and I just feel like it would make so much sense for them to stay somewhere that's a little bit closer to the convention, but like Caesars, or keep them all together at Planet Hollywood. Ooh, that could be a potential, because they're doing Watch What Happens Live. They did the tapings last time in Vegas at the Paris Theater, which is much smaller. Now they're moving it to the Planet Hollywood, and I'm wondering if like all the ladies will stay there. Again, I don't know yet, but like I've got to find that out ahead of time. Another thing too that I'm excited, one thing that was really fun last time was arriving at the airport at the luggage claim. Like, you'll see Bravo Labs, you'll see other content creators, like everybody getting to their hotels, hanging out at the convention, hanging out in the courtyard there. Especially because I've been to the last one, again, like I'm going to know how to navigate this one so much better this year, have super cute outfits put together, and just be ready to kill the convention. So the pricing for GA is $650 roughly, taxes and fees. Plus your flight, plus hotel. So if you're going to be going, be prepared. VIP, you're looking at about $1,400 plus taxes and fees. I don't have to pay for my flight or hotel, so I'm very lucky. So I'm going to be able to splurge a little bit more on my VIP ticket, but I'm really looking forward to it. Now, one thing I'm upset about is they have not announced who's coming from Summer House yet. They have not announced who's coming from Southern Charm yet, Southern Hospitality. All of these casts they have waited to announce. I think because they're currently filming and or about to start filming, and they can't really leak like who the casts are yet, or tell us like potential storylines or anything yet for these shows. So I think that there's going to be like a second wave of announcements that will come right before they do the tickets on sale, to get like those emotions high about wanting to see these people. So we'll see about that. I also think that the cast for RHONY, that's my number 1 most talked about moment of the week. So let's just roll right into that, because this will tie together. That the number 1 most talked about moment of the week are all of the Real Housewives of New York rumors. What are the RHONY rumors? That every time I open my phone, it's another thing about what's going to go on with the RHONY casting. Is it canceled? Is it not? Some people reported it was. Andy had to deny it. Andy had to go on Radio Andy and say, we've got 10 women that are currently being casted, and we don't know, when it's going to start filming yet, because we're still working on getting the cast right, and it's definitely coming back, and it has not been canceled. And Okay, so it's not canceled. Like I said, I always believe when it comes right from Andy's mouth. So whoever the cast is going to be is also going to have to come to BravoCon. And then only Dorit was announced from Beverly Hills. That's because I think they're currently filming and they don't want to tell us again like who's coming back, even though it's been reported everybody's coming back except for Garcelle. So that would be Sutton, Kyle, Bose, Erica. Bose wasn't even announced. Why wasn't Bose on the BravoCon announcement? I need to know why. I'm going to put Bose. I got to remember to check in with Bose. Very important I meet her. The Real Housewives of Miami were all on there, which is great. I've met them. I met Adriana and Julia last time, and there was definitely tension that they were put together at a meet and greet. I think they were fighting. They were filming. But I still got to tell Adriana she's a fucking legend because she is a huge legend. Okay, so I'm curious, what's going to go on with that with New York? I am dying to know. Like I said, everyone else is too. So Andy has denied that the show's being canceled. Great. We're going to have Rhode Island, which he said will probably likely give Jersey a run for its money, and I'm thinking Jersey's not going to come back. So that's kind of sad. We're going to have a BravoCon with no Teresa, no Dolores, and no Melissa Gorga, which I've met her before, so I'm not as sad. I've seen Teresa and Louis interact with each other in the flesh at the last BravoCon, and they are sinister energy. And yeah, I think that's pretty much like it as far as the BravoCon announcement goes. We're going to have to wait to get more information. I've been checking out the merch online, and you guys, there's some really cute stuff at bravotv.shop or /shop or whatever. I have like a cart full of stuff, and I'm debating like what things to get. Maybe I should make a post about it and get some feedback. I've been trying to think about like branching out of my content and not just posting memes or clips, and trying to post like other just random thoughts that I have / things that happen that aren't really opinions, that are more like just facts of things, because sometimes I just want to see what everyone else is thinking or just get out like general thoughts in between podcasts. So trying to get more grid posts. And I also want to start using that new Instagram app, that edits app. I haven't done it yet, but I've seen Ryan Bailey do it, and it's kind of like the green screen app. I love a good green screen, and that will really help me get my reels up and stuff, and get me to just kind of do more on the fly opinion stuff. And yeah, so besides the other RHONY rumors, I think it's safe to say 100% that Brynn is not coming back. I would actually be willing to bet money on that at this point. She hasn't been in the mix at all. And I listened to her podcast, like, I don't know who put a gun to my head, but I popped in for 2 episodes and I literally wanted to kill myself. Oh, I shouldn't say that. That's so insensitive. I'm sorry, trigger warning. But I listened to the episode with her and Jesse Solomon, and like they are disgusting, and they are 2 peas in a pod, and like, ew. Just ew, get a room. I wonder if they did fuck. Like, now I'm curious. Now I'm thinking about it. It's like, great. That's what their whole point was, and great. Now, I've also been listening to Aaron and Abe's podcast, which why again? Now, this is what I'm going to say about that. It's made me really, really like them as people. I think Aaron is cool. I do. I get why Andy's like enamored with her, and I think she's young. She has cool friends. She has funny stories. But it's her tone and her general Karen-ness that comes off. It comes off just naggy and like annoying, almost little sistery or something. So she's gonna have to work on that and work on her fucking likability and her Q score, because I'm sure it's in the trash. Abe, very likable. He's funny. I think that this shows me more of him, and I can definitely see how if they're gonna keep Aaron and Abe, they're gonna keep Raquel, because Raquel and Mel are obsessed with Aaron and Abe. They're definitely gonna keep Jessel and Pavitt in the mix, because Jessel is a fan favorite. Although I think that that's a mistake. As much as I love Jessel and Pavitt, it's like thanks for the memories, but I think that they should just move back to LA, take their kids, go on back. And I don't know. I think that we maybe have seen all of what Jessel has been able to give us. So just saying, maybe I'm wrong. Then we have Jenna Lyons, and I believe that she's going to be demoted to a friend of. That will be the perfect sweet spot for her, because she won't have to share all of her life. She can pop in an event and do filming and get like a little bit of messy and do some telephone or whatever and be a pigeon. But I have a feeling she'll be a friend of, and then that will eliminate that loophole of her not having to show her marriage. And then Lindsay, I believe, will be a friend of. Same thing, same loophole. They're not going to be able to show Turner. Again, they can't film in his home. He cannot be on camera. So for that reason, I believe she's going to have to be in a friend of role. unless she creates so much drama, isn't so insane that she just gets an apple on her first season, which I'm here for. I cannot say this loud enough. I do not like Lindsay, but I love a villain and I love to hate watch. So if she's going to come to RHONY, she better work. She better make things happen on that show. She better have everybody's panties in a twist. Spreading rumors, pulling skeletons, making fucking sandwiches. I need to see her work. If she comes on and she's just friends with everybody, it's not going to work. It's going to give nothing. Go girl, give us nothing. That's been this entire franchise so far in the last 2 seasons they've given us. So besides that, I don't think Uba's coming back and I don't think Bryn's coming back. I think that's been established. Got to get some newbies up in there. Julia Fox said that she has been approached. She interviewed and she ultimately decided not to do it. I believe her. I don't think it's for her. I think that she realizes if you don't need it and you're famous without it, it's not for you. I think it's for nobodies. I don't want to see famous influencers or real famous people on my show. I want to see randos. I want to see moms, friends from the circle, friends of a friend of a friend, neighbors, whatever. I want random Manhattan women. Or Brooklyn. Oh yeah, that brings us to Sai. Again, I don't think she should come back. Replace her with a newbie. That gets into the mix. But okay, yeah, you guys, that's pretty much my whole top 5 countdown of reality TV's most talked about moments of the week. I'm trying to think if we really got to everything. I think so for the most part. Summer House is going to be airing tonight. The reunion, again, I'm not sure when it's going to air, but we have not seen any of the reveals of what the theme looks like, what the outfits are, and we just know that there's going to be a big announcement. So stay tuned. Now, what else could possibly happen? I think tonight is the episode where Lindsay says to Carl, "Thank you for setting me free." And it's just, they've been fighting and feuding online. And it's just like, I think Lindsay is in PR. She knows the most important thing is to be talked about and to have people reposting, tagging, and having her drama be like part of it. And I think that she's just right now showing, she's grasping for straws. She's like, I need to be a central part of this drama because I can't lose my job. She's now providing for little baby Gemma. So she's not going to lose her job. She's going to start fighting with everybody. I think if she was smart, she would have not became friends with Paige and she would have kept that feud going because they could have had some really good moments this year. Like if she would have went after her and Craig, if she would have been like team Kyle in the Loverboy thing, there could have been some really good moments, but it was a snore for the most part this entire season. So, all right, you guys, I will leave you with that, but I will be coming back with some other bonus episodes and checking back in with you. Please make sure you're following me at Bella Talks TV on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube. And make sure you're leaving me a 5-star review, a nice little rating, something just to make your girl smile, okay? Because I do love coming here and discussing all this craziness and madness with you. So, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to watch the latest episode of Teen Mom right now. And I'm going to also watch that Battle Camp show that's on Netflix, which I've been saying I was going to start all week, but I finally am going to start it today. And I'm going to do it. I heard it's like a quick binge. And then I'm also going to watch, I feel like I had one other show that I was about to queue up, but maybe I'm thinking of Mormon Wives, which is coming tomorrow. So yeah, a couple things to watch. Make sure you're staying tuned for next week's episode, and I will leave you all with that. Have a wonderful day. Love you all. Ciao, Bellas.